Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to 247th meeting of Toastmasters of Delhi. And amidst all this grim and gloomy news of COVID, we all are here together with smiling faces, happy spirits in our heart, and that lovely gleam in our eyes for a better future tomorrow. So let's applaud for ourselves because we have been able to join this meeting once again and are here together. Let's applaud for ourselves and let's wish everyone have a good and happy, healthy time, recover well. With that thought, let me, I'm your Sergeant at Arms and I will be opening this meeting now as to for you to take over and enjoy this meeting for another good 2 hours. So I would welcome you all, the guests, lovely Toastmasters, dear club members, and Toastmasters' mission is something very important. So what do? We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Well, there are a few ground rules which I would quickly share with you. Please ensure that your cell phones are on mute or not on vibration mode because at times when you're speaking, if your phone also speaks at the same time, it might disrupt your own speech. So let's not do that. Please make sure that you are, in case you are eating or drinking water, probably you can switch off your camera so that not to distract the speakers while they would see you on the screen. This is a virtual medium, so let's be more energetic, more enthusiastic, and support each other by applauding, acknowledging by thumbs up, and sharing our bright smiles when somebody is speaking good. And also do unmute only when you have to speak. So please stay on mute all the time till the time your turn is there or you are asked to speak. Please do not talk about any topic which is a taboo topic or can hurt the sentiments of the people around, which usually is around politics, religion, sex, or any other such taboo topics. If possible, please stay on the video mode and don't stay so serious. Just smile all the time. Just interact with people because on this virtual medium, we are here to just look at each other and find that inspiration and positivity that is motivating for the speakers as well. So in case of any technical issues that you have, you can contact the host who is our very own Toastmaster Rohan. And just to applaud, in case you can always unmute or use hand gestures, there are emoticons at the bottom of your screen. So all these rules are good. I'm sure you are very well versed with it. You've been using Zoom and other mediums, and I'm sure you will take care of it. And with that thought, this is the time when we stand together and pray for each other with that hope in our heart that tomorrow is going to be better. And with that thought, with that aspiration, ambition, and wish in my heart, I want to welcome our very own dynamic, super duper dashing, and always smiling, a person who is always by our side, our president, club president, Toastmaster Rohan Bansal. I hand it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Amelia, for that wonderful introduction and such a warm and positive message to start the meeting with. When I first moved to Delhi 2 years back from Mumbai, I asked one of my friends, how do I really experience the full culture, the full energy of Delhi? And he said to me one thing, just go to Iftar on the night and experience Delhi in its entirety. So I went to Delhi, went to Old Delhi around 11 p.m. in the night, and I stayed till 6 a.m. in the morning. It was a complete assault on my senses from every point of view. There was good in lassi. There were so many foods mixed together that I couldn't make sense of, and that completely blew my mind. And with that, I'm so excited to kickstart today's meeting. So welcome all of you to the 247th meeting of Toastmasters of Delhi. Welcome to all of you. I'd like to get an introduction of the guests before we move on with the meeting. Let me see. Pratham. Hi, Pratham. Thanks for joining us.
Hi,
Can you give your introduction, please? Where you're from and what brings you to Toastmasters of Delhi?
Yeah, of course. I'm from Delhi, and my name is Pratham Juneja. Just passed my 10th without giving any exams. Uh, so I'm in
Great.
11th standard, and my father informed me about this Toastmaster. So
Awesome. Awesome. Welcome to the club. Your father has
thanks.
been, I think, a long-standing member of Toastmasters of Delhi. For those who don't know, Gopal, Toastmaster Gopal. And so, yeah, welcome, Pratham, to the club.
Thank you so
Thanks so
much.
much. Utkarsha, can we have your introduction, please? I know you're Toastmaster, but for those of us new in the club to you, your introduction, where you're from, and what brings you here today.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm Karsha. I'm a self-motivated and extrovert person. I'm part of Atlas Copco Geisha Toastmasters Club, and the motto to be part of Toastmasters of Delhi is to explore and refine my skills of Toastmasters and presentation master. By passion, I'm
Great.
a
Welcome.
lyricist, and as a profession, I'm a mechanical engineer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Utkarsha. Welcome to today's meeting. Thanks for joining us. Umang, can we have your introduction, please? You're in mute, Umang.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Umang. So I am a member of Invictus Toastmasters, and I got the link from DTM Abbas itself. And I am doing PhD from JNU. And I think this particular theme for today, this is quite close to me. I've spent 5 years in Jamia, had a lot of iftars. So let's see how it goes. Thank you.
Awesome. Welcome, Umang. I am sure you have a lot to contribute to today's theme. So thank you so much for joining us. With that, I like to hand over the stage to our very energetic and committed member of Toastmasters of Delhi, Toastmaster Nupur, to take forward with the meeting. Toastmaster Nupur, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. And I would start by wishing Ramadan Mubarak to all of the members here. This is the holy month that is observed by by people who follow Islam, their religion. And there are two ways that we actually wish. Some of us wish Ramadan Mubarak, and we also say Ramadan Kareem. So can any one of us tell me what would be the difference between these two words? Why do we use, two words interchangeably? Any idea about that? All right, let me just share my thoughts and what I have understood. Mubarak means blessed. So Ramadan Mubarak means have a blessed Ramadan, have a blessed month. Whereas the word Kareem is used for generosity. Now this, we say, is a holy month where we would like to give. We would like to be more generous towards our society, towards our community. And thus, people do use the word Ramadan Kareem as well. Fasting is one of the 5 pillars that we have in our in the religion, and fasting is followed for 30 days during this month. The fasting with connection, I would also say, to Ramadan Kareem is broken with iftar. Now, we will discuss more about iftar because I already have got 2 views, one from our Toastmaster Rohan and one from our guest Umang, on how they have enjoyed the iftar. But let's come on that later. For now, let's just start our meeting with the next steps that we have. So let us begin, and let me explain what a standard Toastmaster meeting usually looks like. So there are 3 sessions to a meeting. The first one is for the prepared speeches. where the speaker delivers a prepared speech based on the pathways and the level that they follow. Then we have the table topic session, where it's more of an impromptu speech that we ask the guests to talk about on a particular topic for approximately 2 minutes. And the third session, which we really value the most, is the evaluation session. Because here the evaluators will provide the feedback and mention the areas of improvement that the speakers can work on. So with that, let me call upon the general evaluator. And I'm sorry, I will have to look at the agenda to see who the general evaluator is.
That's me.
Okay. All right. So to DTM Amelia, over to you then.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nupur. And with that lovely theme of sumptuous delicacies in your background, I'm really, really thrilled to enjoy the whole meeting. I'm sure it would be a very sweet meeting today. So with that thought, let me call on my team who would be taking care of all other aspects, because I, as a general evaluator, cannot do everything alone. It's a team which works along. So I'm a general evaluator, and by default, you're parliamentarian, and I will also look at the decorum maintained during this meeting. So please ensure that you are not unmuting yourself when you should not be, or so. Anyways, let me call on our first auxiliary role player, and who is a brand new Toastmaster, an enthusiastic professional, and somebody who has a smile in her voice. Toastmaster Soumya Jain, our very new member. Let's welcome her with a thunderous round of applause as timer for today. So Toastmaster Soumya, please share your role description, how you would do as a timer today.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amelia. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So I am the timer of the day, and I am responsible for keeping a track of the time taken by various speakers and guests. So the Toastmasters of the day will get a time of 4 to 6 minutes. I will get show a green card at 4 minutes, a yellow at 5, and a yellow at 4.5 minutes, and a red card at 5 minutes. And there's a grace period of 30 seconds on either side. We have Toastmaster Kanapriya and Umang as the speaker who will deliver their speeches, and the time allotted for each speaker is 5 to 7 minutes. I will show a green card at 5 minutes, a yellow at 6, and a red at 7 minutes, and a 30 seconds grace period is allotted on either side. For the table topic speakers, each speaker is encouraged to speak for 1 to 2 minutes, and there is a grace period for 30 seconds on the plus side. For evaluators, the total time is 2 to 3 minutes. A green card will be shown at 2 minutes, a yellow at 2.5, and a red at 3 minutes, and a grace period for 30 seconds on either side is there. And any speaker who finishes speech before or after the grace period will not be considered for the awards. And I will submit my report at the end of the general evaluation. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Soumya, for explaining your role so well. And as a debutant role player, you have spoken very well. I'm really happy about it. And yes, so just note down the time and see if there are any shenanigans around in this meeting. So the shenanigan is something that I will notice as well as general evaluator. What is happening around? Anyways, let's call on our second role player, our very, very daring role player, Toastmaster Simranjeet, as our counter for the day.
Hello, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm the counter of the day. So I'll be noting down all your filler words. The filler words are the words that we unintentionally use to fill up the time that we need to think during the speech. So filler word really impact your speech. It can break the attention of the listener. I'll be noting down all the filler words that you will use in your speech, like, so, actually, and the unintentional voices, like and I'll be also noting down all the long pauses that you take during your speech. So I'll be presenting the report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
You're on mute.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Simranjeet. And please refrain from using R's and Ums. But then take it easy. It's okay. That's a learning process. Now we call on stage our very own dashing grammarian for the day, who is smiling through the specs. Toastmaster Rohan, over to you.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Amelia. You just gave me 2 words to add to my good usage for the day. So thank you, and I'm the grammarian for today's meeting, which means that I'll be keeping track of the usage of the English language throughout the meeting. I'll be noting down the good usage of the words and the not so good uses that could use for the improvements, and this is for the benefit of the members to improve their vocabulary and improve their speech through proper grammar. So with that, I'll also be keeping a track of the word of the day. The word of the day for today is shenanigan, which means mischievous activity. And if used in a sentence, we can say the kids were engaging in shenanigans when their parents were not looking their way in the park. And I encourage all of you to use the word of the day as many times as you can during the meeting. And for everyone else to encourage you all, please give a thumbs up like this, or 2 thumbs up if you really like it when someone uses the word of the day on the stage. Please note that if you're using regional languages during your speech or during a time on stage, I request you to please convert it or translate it to English, since this is an English speaking club and organization. And with that, I'll be back during the end of the meeting when the general evaluator calls me again. With that, back to you, distinguished Toastmaster Amelia.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rohan, and that yes, we'll try to be a good Toastmaster today, and no such activity as you just said, shenanigan. No shenanigan activities, I would say, guys. Now let's call on our active listener for today, who is Toastmaster Kamal, and will be throwing a lot of questions at you. But why and how, he will tell you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amelia. Whatever is prayed at the time of iftar is granted and never refused. Hello, dear Toastmaster and dear guest. Being a good listener is just as important as being a good speaker. Today, I am active listener of the day, and I will note tidbits of information from any of the speaker, and I will put the questions at the end of the meeting to see if everyone is paying attention. So with this, I want to handle the stage to back to the uh, general evaluator. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kamal. And yes, we'll be all attentive today. And let's answer all your questions. So with that thought, let me just hand over the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, that is Toastmaster Nopur. And I will come towards the end of this session to present my report along with my team of evaluators. Over to you, Toastmaster Nopur.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Earlier, or at least in my golden days when I was young, we never called anyone uncle, auntie. I had a very close friend of my dad who had moved to UK, and he would come back, and we lovingly called him Chacha. His name was Dr. Dr. Parvez Rizvi, and we lovingly used to call him Parvez Chacha. And we used to wait for him to come for that 1 month. He used to come to India for the Ramadan period and then go back. And then somehow I related it to the month, that this is the month when he will come. But that wasn't the case. It used to change every month. And I got confused. I was like, if he has to come once in a year, why does he come in random months? Then I was made to understand that Ramadan is the period which follows the moon cycle. It does not follow the solar calendar. It follows the lunar calendar. And thus it moves from month to month. So the 30 days can change, and it can fall anywhere in the year. And I have seen my friends when it was easy. Let me honestly tell you, I could see the difference. It was much easier fasting when it was during winter periods. However, when it was May, June, scorching heat, and they used to fast, it is really a test of their control, their patience, and their, I would say, the willpower through which they want to stand on the on the 5 pillars that are explained by Islam. So with that, let me then move on to what exactly, I mean, we're talking about Ramadan, but what is iftar here? There were two thoughts on iftar. Does anyone want to share their views on what is iftar before I look at the bookish knowledge and what I have accumulated from my friends? Anyone?
Okay, iftar is when after the whole long day it is called that time in the evening when you, after a long day of fasting, you come and sit down with your family and break your fast and remember God and thank God for a successful day of fasting, for having a meal by your side right in front of you. And that is the whole month, when every day you do iftar and you thank God for everything. Thank Almighty. That's how I take it.
Thank you so much, DTM Amelia. Well, with iftar, there is another word that comes, which is, and I'll have to read that to make sure that I pronounce this correctly, is suhoor. Is that what is the morning fast? Right.
That's
Okay.
Sehri or Suhoor. Either way.
Sehri also. Okay. Yeah, Sehri is what I remembered. Suhoor is Google. But yes, so with the fast is actually carried throughout the day. There are two meals that people have. One is before the sun rises, before dawn, and the other is iftar, which is after the evening azan, after the evening prayers. Then the fast is broken, and that is called iftar. In morning, it's a very light meal which is taken, and in the evening, it's a proper full-fledged meal which is taken, which is called iftar. More about iftar after our next section, and for the next section is we would call the first speaker, as it is the prepared speeches section. And before I call the first speaker, I need to call the evaluator for our first speaker. So let me just look at who the evaluator is for
It would be Sagar.
sorry?
Sagar is the evaluator.
Sagar,
Yes.
okay. Toastmaster Sagar, then over to you for give a brief introduction of the speech to be delivered by our Toastmaster Ghanpriya.
So, hello, fellow Toastmaster and dear guest. I hope you are doing good. So, today, Toastmaster Ghanapriya is going to deliver level 2, project 3 from the Pathways Effective Coaching. The purpose of the project is for the member to apply his or her mentoring skills to a short term mentoring assignment. The time limit of the speech is 5 to 6 minutes. I wish her best of luck for her speech. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
5 to 7, isn't it? Minutes. Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Sagar. Most of us need a direction to move on, to take a start, to create change, and to prove oneself. A mentor is someone, a person who helps us find that direction and change our destiny. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Today I'm going to talk about some very special in my life who have mentored me and helped me grow as a person. It's always a blessing to have a mentor in one's life, and I consider myself one of the lucky ones who have had many mentors who have inspired me and pushed me so that I could grow. And today, it is my pleasure to pay tribute to these amazing people who have influenced me with their wisdom and their guidance and helped me find my way, not only professionally, but personally as well. My mother was my first mentor. She was independent, she was strong, she was farsighted. She was one of the persons who understood me truly when many of my friends' parents and my father as well wanted their children to be either doctor or engineer. My mother was someone who encouraged me to find my passion and told me that to pursue my interests. But she had drilled me some of the things into my head. She used to say, always be financially independent. You should never depend on your husband or on anyone to buy your personal stuff. She also taught me to know my self-worth, and she used to say, never let anyone make you feel less worthy. My second mentor, whom I'm very fortunate to have, is my current boss. The first time I came to India, to Delhi, and I joined a private school, she was the principal at that time. What I admired about my principal was that she had a knack for tapping people's talents, and accordingly, she would designate the work. As some of you might know, that teachers perform other extra duties as well besides teaching. Thanks to her, my digital literacy was greatly improved. My writing skills was greatly improved, and it was because of her that I gained knowledge on global collaboration. We worked quite closely together, and then after we both left the school, we joined an international NGO called the Tony Blair Institute for Global Change, which works for an educational program for young children. So for about 5 years, we worked very closely together, and by default, she was my mentor. She taught me so much about the program that between the two of us, we managed to bring India to the top and make it one of the most active countries in the program. I learned so much from her that after she left the program and moved to the US, I was able to manage the India chapter all by myself and running it successfully until they appointed someone else in her place. After that, after she became a realtor in the United States, and as her business grew, she recently, last year, towards the end of last year, she reached out to me and then she asked me if I would be interested to be in her team. I was very hesitant, mainly because I knew nothing about real estate in the first place. I had zero knowledge. But she said, don't worry about it. If I can do it, you can do it too. And today I'm so glad that I joined her team. She said that real estate is so much more than just about selling houses. It's not just about selling houses. There's so much more to it. And there is so much of growth prospects. And I have learned so much from her in the last few months. that I'm very grateful to her for offering me that job. And another thing was even though I was hesitant, I was also, thinking of exploring to other areas because I've been working in the education sector for more than I think the 12, 13 years. And I was happy when she gave me the offer, though I was hesitant, and I'm so glad that I took a chance. Not only that, she has broadened my mind by making me read all the personal development books. Earlier, I used to be a fiction fan, but then because of her, I have started reading so many personal growth books. She even gifted me some of her favorite ones. And last but not the least, my heartfelt gratitude to my Toastmasters mentors, Toastmaster Shudhita, who was my past mentor, and Toastmaster DTM Amelia, who is my present mentor. They have helped me so much in my Toastmasters journey. They have encouraged me, challenged me, and pushed me so that I could be a better speaker. And I'm forever grateful to them for, devoting their time, reading my script, and then giving me suggestions so that it will be better. So thank you, DTM Amelia. And I hope that someday I will be able to do you proud by being a better speaker than I am today. So that's all from me. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you so much, Master Ghanpriya, for that wonderful, wonderful speech. Mentoring is definitely something which we all would love to have, because that is one thing that can change the path of any individual and can make a difference between the difference of worlds, actually, between what is being done and how it's being done. So with that, let's move on to the next speaker of the day, TM Umang Yadav. And before we, okay, I am at loss of words today. Before we invite TM Umang, I would like to invite the evaluator, Toastmaster Rohan, to give some updates about the speech. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Toastmaster Umang is delivering his first project from level 5, which is high performance leadership. And he's delivering the first speech of the project. And the purpose of the project is for the member to apply his leadership and planning knowledge to develop a project plan, organize a guidance committee, and implement the plan with the help of a team. The purpose of this first speech is for the member to introduce his plan and vision. Timer, please note the time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. I wish the speaker all the best, and back to the Toastmaster of the Day. Madam Toastmaster of the Day, over to you.
All right, so I would now like to invite Toastmaster Umang for the speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nupur. Quartered in the snow, silent to remain.
I am not able to hear you properly.
Am I audible?
It's very low. The volume is very low.
Yeah, the volume is very low, man.
Now it is fine.
Yeah.
Quartered in the snow, silent to remain. When the bugle calls, they shall march and rise again. This was the thing which I said to my team members, but they were not able to believe because of my mischievous acts. Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, and all their guests, good evening. This is a story when I was in the second year of my masters at Jamia Millia Islamia only. I was given a task to prepare and publish the department magazine with the consent of the authorities and the head of HOD ma'am. But that was a new task for me. I didn't have any idea where to start from. So, like a normal individual, I went to my seniors. So they said that this is not your cup of tea. Just leave this aside and keep chatting with your friends by sitting at canteen. So I felt offended. Then I thought, let's do it, and let's do it in a very different fashion. Earlier, our department magazine used to be the pathetic one, but I make sure that this time our magazine will go ahead and compete with the magazines of other departments. So, like a normal leader, I made a notice and put it on the notice board. I was in a thought process that I will get a lot of volunteers just by preparing a notice only, but that was a misconception. I haven't got a single volunteer, at least for 2 weeks. Then I was in a dilemma that just by thinking, you can't do everything. There should be will and intent that is necessary. So what I did, I again made a different notice in a different manner. I put glitters alongside the notice so that everyone gets attracted. I use some subjective language. Okay, you will get rewards, awards, these kind of things if you'll volunteer for this particular cause. This time, I haven't got the volunteers again. So what I did, I formulated a team of my 3 CRs from graduation first year, second year, third year, and master's first year. I told them, just reach out to your fellow mates and interact with them, and also try to persuade and convince them to be a part of this particular cause. They did the same. They went to their classes. They tried to interact with everyone, but people were not willing. People were not able to volunteer for this particular cause. Then I went to each and every class. I told them that, okay, if you will be a part of this cause, I will offer you 3 samosas and some sort of bribe I have offered them. So they felt happy, but that was not it. Ultimately, we got handful of 10 volunteers from department from first year, second year, third year, and master's first year. Then the real task was started. Only formulating the team was not enough. I distributed the tasks. I divided my team into 3 parts, and I requested my first team to extract all the geographical related data that has to be compiled in that magazine. At the same time, I requested my second team to extract all the map related exercises and all the map related crosswords, all the geographical subjective data, so that people might get attracted towards it, and so that it will be liked by each and everyone when it will compete with the magazine of other departments, because map is the crux of geography. And I requested the third team to extract all the journal related things, shairis, quotes, poems, whatever lies under the sky that is important. I took all the data from all the 3 teams and their leaders, and I myself injected some jokes in that so that people could laugh out. I thought that was effective. And ultimately, I contacted one of my friends from English department for the editing purpose, because speaking is a skill, but at the same point of time, everyone can't do editing. This is a stated fact. So for that, I contacted one of my friends from English department. He did the same. He did a brilliant editing that was never done in geography department till then. And then after compiling all the data in PPT, I went to my HOD ma'am for the permission. The moment I got the approval, I went to the print shop, got the prints out, distributed among everyone. Everyone was scintillating that what is this? And none of it was the soothing scenes that was injected in the magazine that was never created as such of now. So the task was still not done. We took our magazine to the next stage, that was the magazine's competition. We were confident that we had put in a lot of effort that we'll win the competition. But when we went to the competition, we put in blood and sweat, everything, whatever it was in our ambit, we did everything, but we came second. But that was a mirror to our seniors that yes, at least we can also do something. We are not useless. So with that second prize, we went to the department, we submitted our prize, and nobody was able to believe. From the history when our department was made, this was the first time any award related to magazine was given to us. And we got appreciated by HOD ma'am. This is how we realized that if we have the will, intent, and perseverance, then definitely we can do wonders. Thank you. And back to the Toastmaster of the day.
So much, Toastmaster Umang, for that wonderful speech. Now, I would just want to ask you one question. Were you actually involved in a lot of shenanigan activities in the class because of which you were told that, no, this is not your cup of tea?
Actually, I want to tell you one thing. I wanted to use that word shenanigan, but when I used mischievous, I forgot the word, what it was. So
I thought so.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to use that word, but during my speech, I forgot. So that was the thing. No, I was involved in a lot of shenanigan activities, but not up to the high standards, just normal things.
Okay, let's not get into what is normal and move on to the topic of the day. And here, I would actually like to connect with your speech and the point that you raised about something or about volunteering for anything, a cause, something that does not give you any kind of monetary or any other benefit. Generosity is something that Iftar actually encourages a lot. We all have heard that the family that eats together stays together, and it is something that we do when we celebrate something. But to take it to the next level is when we share things not just within the family but outside the family, in the community as well. And that is where Iftar comes into it. It teaches us that when we have our first meal of the day, we should also share it with the community around us, with the guests, with the neighbors, or even invite people to get over who do not have that capability or who do not have enough for themselves. So that is a very big learning that we need to take. However, in the recent past, this something has been politicized a lot, which is the so-called iftar parties. Iftar has got nothing to do with the parties except for political gains. But I would here want to understand or want to actually listen to what Umang has to say, because he shared something about the iftar parties at Jamia. So what was it like, Umang? If you can share your views, your feedback, your experience from there, please.
Sorry.
Can you share your experience about iftar parties at Jamia?
Oh, yeah. Actually, the mischievous thing that I've told you, when just before the toilet part, when everyone used to offer namaz, I was the only Hindu person who was there. So they used to give me ruafza to taste. Well, how is the taste? So I used to drink the entire ruafza. I used to eat all the rasmalais. So they used to get frustrated. So these were the things the mischievous thing that I used to do. That was entirely. I never used to do these things intentionally, but just food takes you to next level. So just as that. By the way, food remains to be quite delicious.
Well, and someone told me that he wasn't involved in shenanigan activities or that level of shenanigan activities. Okay, so only till tasting and finishing the food, which is all right. With that beautiful experience sharing, let's move on to the next section of the meeting, and which is the table topics. And for that, let me invite our table topic master, Toastmaster Bhavna. Toastmaster Bhavna, a beautiful smile, a soft voice, and a beautiful ukulele as well. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nupur, for that warm welcome. And we've been loving your topics so far. And, along with talking about how feasting and how good food is all about iftar, but you've also shared things about how generosity and peace is also a part of it. So I hope I'm audible. My internet is a little shaky today. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, great. So now we're going to start with the table topic session, wherein I'll be giving you topics and you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes with a buffer of 30 seconds towards the end. Now, I have customized these topics according to every member so that we get to hear some really fun and interesting stories from all of you. So let us begin with an experienced Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Amelia ma'am.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, so your topic is, if you obey all the rules, you miss all the fun. If you obey all the rules, you miss all the fun. Distinguished Toastmaster Amelia ma'am.
Rules are meant to be broken. That is what I heard around. I never did that. I broke all old norms, rather. I did not break small rules of bunking classes. Yes, I did few times, of not eating on time or not obey rules in class, school, or college or parents. I broke the norms. I have been a very shy, quiet, simple girl since childhood. Those who know me from kindergarten cannot believe that am I the same what I was. Well, to take you back and forth in my life, I have changed a lot. I have started speaking, and that happened when I started thinking about my life as to what profession I would choose. My father wanted me to be a doctor, and my mother wanted to be me to be an IAS officer, and that is a told story. Now, many of you know that. But amidst all this, I just had a heart of my own. I always did what I believed in. And when it came to the most important decision of my life, I listened to my heart. I never thought. I used to think like a young girl that I will go ahead and marry a person, live like ideal situation. But then my heart was fluttering for falling in love. I did fall in love. And as I fell in love, I realized I need to stand for my love. In my family, nobody had ever taken this decision. So I did. And I did stand up for the love. People say you fall in love, but I was rising in love. Love made me realize a lot of things. I grew up in love, and hence, yes, I married my love. So I want to say that, yes, you can obey all the rules, but do not miss the fun. Probably you want to break some and have some fun as well. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Amelia ma'am. That was really interesting about how you talked about breaking the rules and becoming a public speaker and rising in love. Thank you so much for that thought. So let's have someone from the guest now. Any volunteers? Any guest or anyone else from the members would like to volunteer for the next topic?
I want to be part of the next topic.
Sure, Pratham. Okay, so your topic is, since you're a younger person, so there's this interesting topic for you. If you were an animal, which animal would you choose to be and why? if you were an animal, which animal would you choose to be and why?
I would like to be a lion because he's the king of jungle, and the fact I love about the lion is that he's not the fastest animal of the jungle. He's not the smartest animal of the jungle. He's not the biggest animal of the jungle, but still he's the king of the jungle because of his attitude and his mentality. So the fact about this, like the fact about this fact I love about the lion. So I want to be lion. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pratham. That's wonderful. In fact, I was already thinking that you'd pick lion and wish you, you know, crack your future exams like a lion.
Thank
Okay.
you so much.
So our next volunteer, please. Utkarsha or Umang, Soumya.
I nominate Utkarsha for next speech.
Okay. Thank you, Amlia.
Okay. So Utkarsha, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So your topic is Facebook makes society less happy. Facebook makes society less happy, Utkarsha.
Okay. Though I never had a Facebook account, but yeah, looking at the scenario around me, I can say that Facebook does, every coin has two sides. Like that, Facebook has pros and cons. It does connect you with people around the globe. At the same time, if you people are not emotionally stable and if they are at vulnerable conditions, then seeing around the posts at the Facebook, it drains their emotional level and increases the cortisol into their blood, increasing the stress levels. And if feeling inferiority and feeling not worthy and feeling yourself as you're not going best of yourself, when you should have been thinking that it's everyone is not posting to show off, everyone is posting for their own happiness. So if people take that thing out of it, then the Facebook doesn't make it less happier, but the rather does it makes. So over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Utkarsha, for that wonderful different thought about how it doesn't make us unhappy, but it's about our personal choices. Thank you so much. Okay, anyone from the members now, please? Um, Amelia ma'am says, Sagar, would you like to go?
Yes, sure.
Okay, Sagar. So your
Yes.
topic is poor lifestyle begins in the mind. Poor lifestyle begins in the mind, Sagar.
So, yes, I truly agree with your topic. Poor lifestyles begin in the mind. I think everything is in our mind only, through which we act. If we think like that, we are poor, we will be poor. No matter whatever we are doing in our life. So, I think it's really a time for everyone to change our mind to be a positive side. If we will think in a positive side, then only we can do something through which we can keep ourselves happy. Otherwise, if our mind is not happy and it is not positive, whatever you are doing in your life, whatever fruitful things you are doing, you will not able to feel satisfied. You will not able to achieve what you want in your life. That's all I want to say. Over to you, Toastmaster Bhavna.
Thank you so much, Sagar. You got the topic right. So great on those wonderful thoughts. Up next, who would like to go next? Simranjeet or Rohan?
I can go.
Okay. Okay, so I have an interesting topic for you. Would you rather be a chocolate or a potato? Would you rather be a chocolate or a potato and why?
Would I rather be a chocolate or a potato? Well, I would rather be a potato. And one reason that comes in my mind is chocolate is something you would be having whenever sometime you need a bit of sweetness, you are craving for it, but you cannot have chocolate every day, though you can have potato every day. I know many people, and I am one of them, who love potato, and I can have potato every day. We can add it in any time, and potato is something that goes with everything. I think everybody needs to have that quality of potato. That potato can go with any other vegetable. Potato is something that if you notice, it's really adjusting. It gels up with everything, like, and be part of it, and actually increases the taste of it. So I would rather be a potato. But being chocolate has its own advantages. You when you are sick of all those potatoes and all the regular stuff, and you need a pinch of sweetness in it, yes, you can go for chocolates also. But if I have a choice, I'll be a potato. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Simranjeet, for that cheerful and such a happy answer. You always make us smile. Thank you so much. So next, who would like to go next? Okay, I nominate Rohan because he hasn't been speaking in the table topic since a long time.
Okay.
Okay, so your topic is, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands.
The world is made up of our perspective. Nothing exists outside of it. So if you see things in your mind, you can manifest it in your hand. Let me highlight what I mean by a personal example. For about a year, I've been wanting to travel somewhere by myself. That this was back in 2014, where I wanted to just travel solo by the world. And this was 1 year in the making. I kept looking at Instagram, Facebook, and all the posts of people going places. I asked my friends if they wanted to go with me. They said they didn't want to go anywhere. So I just traveled. I just took the decision to go by myself. I booked my own tickets. I had the tickets in my hand, and my thoughts manifested into me going solo, and it changed my life completely. So yes, absolutely, your world is in your hands. The what you think in your mind, you can manifest it in your life for sure. And this translates into uh, uh, this translates to whether you're thinking positive thoughts, but also when you're thinking negative thoughts. So this balance needs to be made when you're uh, thinking in terms of what you want in life. So that is all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rohan, for encouraging us to think positive and use our mind to the best, and for sharing that interesting story. Okay, timer, do we have enough time? I think we have time for one more. Yeah, okay. Who would like to go next? Volunteers, please.
Soumya
Okay.
or Kamal, if they want.
Okay, Soumya or Kamal, who would, I think, okay. Soumya or Kamal, who would like to go first?
Yeah, I can also go with who will be the timer then.
Okay, I think one of them can help you with the time. Let's go with Kamal first, and then we come to Soumya. Okay, so Kamal, your topic is, what lifts your spirits when life gets you down? What lifts your spirits when life gets you down? Kamal.
What lifts you your spirits when life gets down? Uh, do you have any other topic? Anyone other?
Okay, yeah, sure. Um, so, if there was a second chance in life, what would you like to change about yourself and why?
Okay. Thank you so much, Bhavna, for this topic. So the thing is, if I get chance to change something, then definitely I want to change myself, right? Like I have. Wait. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, if I want to change is, I want to change my habits, right? Like the habits I adapt since I'm following since 2 years. If I following those habits, like from like from my 10th 12th standards or something like that, then definitely my life would be something else, right? So habits which uh, make person great, right? So I want to change my habits if I get chance. That's all from my end.
Thank you so much, Kamal. That's a wonderful thing to say. I mean, habits absolutely shape who we are. So thank you so much. So last we have Soumya. Soumya, I'd be taking your time. So, and let me look for a topic for you. Okay. Are you ready, Soumya?
Yes, Bhavna.
Okay. Your topic is, if you had to spend a week without your smartphone, what would you do? If you had to spend a week without your smartphone, what would you do?
So if I have to spend a week without my smartphone, I would really want to spend some time with dogs. I really like dogs, playing with them, and as they are just like they are forever loving. They do not have any moods. They like all the time whenever you talk to them, whenever you spend some time with them, so they become really happy. And like I do not have a dog, so I really miss it, because at my place my parents are not very supportive towards keeping a dog. So in future, like if I get some time to spend without my smartphone, I would really ask for a dog. So yeah, that is one thing. And because dogs are just forever loving, and they are really playful as well, and always wanting to go to parks, wanting to play around. So like yeah, so I really like that the most.
Okay. Thank you so much, Soumya. I totally relate to that. Dogs are our best friends. So I think, do we have more time or we have more time? Okay. All right. So who wants to go next then? Ghanapriya, you have
And
it? Okay, Nupur, you want to go?
yeah,
All right. Let me look for a topic for you. Okay. What is worse, failing or never trying? What is worse, failing or never trying?
thank you, Toastmaster Bhavna, for that wonderful topic. Failing or never trying. I would like to understand, how do you know that you will fail if you never tried? There are always two sides of a coin. There's always a 50-50 chance. You might just win. So failing is always the next step of trying. It You have to take that first step. Even a child, for the first time, when he moves, would fall. But that doesn't mean that he or she stops moving ahead. Growth is a constant thing that should happen in life. And here I am not talking about our professional growth or financial growth. Here, the most important thing is the growth of your mindset, the growth of your learning, the growth of you as an individual, as a human being. There are a lot of times when, and I'll give you an example, when we would want to do something as an individual to maybe support someone or to help or any of those activities, and it is not taken in a positive sense. It's not appreciated. But does that mean that we'll stop doing that? We might not be able to accomplish whatever good deed we were trying to do. But that doesn't mean that as an individual, we should stop trying and we should say that, no, we'll only work for ourselves and not for the community as a whole. So for me, it is definitely trying that is important. Failing does not matter at all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nupur. That's a wonderful thing. In fact, we've all failed and then we've been through a long journey and then we're here as confident speakers today. Thank you so much. So, okay, the last one, I have one more topic. Anyone would like to go? Umang, would you like to try a topic?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, okay. Umang, your topic is I dream with my eyes open. I dream with my eyes open, Umang.
At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, there was a cacophony that was evident at Guru Nanak Hospital. It was me. I was the only baby who was crying in the entire ward. My parents thought that this kid will cry forever his life. But I had a determined thought in my mind when I was in class third that I will be the most physically fit person in my class throughout the school days as well as college days. So I started running. Initially, when I started running, I was not able to run. I barely ran 3 kilometers and I was breathless. Then I started practicing, doing hard work, physical activity, core exercises, strength. I went to gym. I did everything, whatever it was possible. Then I thought I was missing something. Then I contacted my coach, who was my swimming coach. He told me that you have to you have to do each and everything systematically. Just physical activity is not enough. Diet also plays a crucial role. I thought he was appropriate with his words. I followed him. Then that was the reason I won the 42-kilometer marathon in Delhi in Indian category recently, the Run for Unity marathon. And that day I realized that it is a gradual process. If you'll dream something, then you have to put in effort for that. You can't just think about it and you'll get everything. God doesn't give that mercy. So you have to put each foot forward with an efficient approach, and that is how a man could get successful. This is what I felt. Thank you, and back to the TT Master.
Thank you so much, Umang, for relating that motivating story to the topic. Okay, I think Ghanapriya is left. She's the last one. Would you like to try your topic, Ghanapriya?
Yeah, okay, fine.
Okay, your topic is creativity cannot be taught. Creativity cannot be taught, Ghanapriya.
Creativity cannot be taught. I can see that there are so many people with talents who have creativity, who have inborn talents, who are born with lots of creativity. But honestly, I do not believe in that statement because I feel if you work hard, if you try hard, whatever things that you put your mind into it, you can definitely develop that skill. There's also another thing, those people with creativity, inborn talent or inborn creativity, if they do not work on it, that creativity will be lost. So I feel that if you know that you have that creativity, if you have that skill, then it is important that you try to tap on the talent and then try to make it better. Otherwise, there are people who do not seem to have talents, but if I really wanted to be to play a musical instrument, for example, and I don't know how to, and I never had the talent to, but that to have, to play any musical instrument. But I feel that if I really worked on it day and night, work harder than everyone who were good at it, I think I would definitely have that that skill developed. And everyone should not be bogged down just because people say that you do not have the creativity or the talent. Over to you. Thank you so much.
Bhavna, you're on mute. Bhavna, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Ghanapriya, and we loved how you thought out of the box and attended the topic. So that was all with the table topic session. And thank you so much for cooperating with me, and over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master. Some wonderful topics and great speeches from everyone. You can see there's these dates in the virtual background that I have. Can anyone tell me the significance of these dates in iftar, if anyone is aware of it? Okay, so the day-long fast is broken only at one particular time. It says, or it is said that Allah or the Prophet does not want us to fast for any more duration than what is really required. So that is why as soon after the namaz, it is said that you break your fast at that one particular time. And the way we break our fast is by either having 3 dates or with a sharbat, water or sharbat. So that's probably why the Ruh Afza thing was there, Umang. And just to share with all of you, in my hometown, my house was very near to a masjid, so we could hear all the azans happening. And the entire area would just change during the Ramadan week. The kind of shops that came up out there and the kind of hustle bustle that you could see, it was so lovely. And have you ever seen those very thin sevais that you would even take in your hand and they would break? So that is when I first had my kimami sevais. But when I moved out of my hometown, I did not know where to get them from. And no, I did not have any friends here who would make kimami sevais for me. And finally, I actually had to learn it from YouTube. That was the craving I had for those sevais during Ramadan week. And eventually what happened was that it became so popular in my office that I was the one who was given the task to make those sevais during every Eid and take it. So that is what the delicacies are, that they just make you crave for it every time you have them. Anyone wants to share any memories of any such delicacies that they had during any of the iftars, or maybe they are aware of it? Or maybe Rohan, you have, Toastmaster Rohan, you have been to Jama Masjid, and Jama Masjid and Ramadan month are like, you can't really talk about the two separately. So any thoughts from you?
I really had foods that didn't make sense to me. There was, as I mentioned before, there was good mixed in lassi, which I was drinking. I didn't know what it was. There were so many foods mixed together. There was, I remember there was also, there was chicken kebab mixed with pomegranate, which was very weird, which I had over there. So which was very insanely weird. And there were so many food items that I kept on exploring from 11 p.m. in the night to 6, 7 in the morning. It never seemed to end. There seemed to be always something someone was offering on every corner of of Old Delhi and Delhi 6. So it was a great time. There were lights all over the place. There were people running all around. So it was overall a great energy just to be around and just spend the night over there.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. Well, that means that we should stick to our favorite food. The shirmals and the neharis, the traditional ones, is what we should stick to, or at least I should stick to. Anyone else who wants to share any thought here before we move ahead?
Yeah, so I mean, when we talk about food, it definitely makes us salivate like anything, and especially in Ramadan, it is something that you're not supposed to do. Let me tell you something. when you are fasting, I mean, after Sehri, till the time you come to iftar time, you should not be, wondering about food, or having or salivating thinking about food because you may be hungry. Of course, it's an unusual routine after 11 months of regular food and water every day. But then for few days, it is really tough. And that's where it is about the patience, the perseverance, the willpower that you test, that you can probably not think about food, even if somebody is eating in front of you. And that is why in many of the Saudi countries, they do not allow any food eatery or anything to be open during day till the time the fast duration is there, so that nobody feels that thought again and thinks about food, because that becomes a little bit of, I would say, a wrong deed, or not a good deed to do. That's a wrong thought to be having during this time. So it's always said that if even if you are sick, if you need to eat medicine, if you are on some doctor's advice, or you have some medical condition or any other reason for which you cannot fast, at that time you have to at least have the respect of not eating in front of those who are fasting. You have to ensure that, okay, sit down, eat because it is a necessity, and do not relish on savories and sweets because, okay, I have the luxury of eating because I'm on medication. It's only a necessity, it's a privilege that you should be using because you need it. You need it for something very important. So that's something about food, and that is something we need to also think about in our daily lives as well. Yes, we must enjoy food, we must love food, smell it, taste it, but then we should remember that food is a luxury for some and necessity for some.
That's a wonderful, wonderful thought. Thank you so much, Titi Mamilia, for sharing that with us. All right, so with that, I guess let's move on to our third section, the evaluation section, for which I would like to invite on the virtual stage our general evaluator, Titi Mamilia.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Nupur, for handing over the stage to me. As a general evaluator, I have a team of evaluator who will first evaluate the speakers, and they will take a CRC approach where it will be about commend, recommend, and comment, a sandwich approach to help the speakers improve and always give a pat on the good things that they did today. So let me call on our first evaluator for today, our ever smiling, ever ready Toastmaster Sagar Bhalla for Toastmaster Ganapriya's speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amelia, for calling me on this stage. First of all, I want to congratulate the speaker for completing one more speech. I know how much hard work it requires to complete this speech. So today's speaker, Toastmaster Ghanipriya, told about her journey with the mentors, how they have helped her to become better version of herself. And I truly agree with you, Toastmaster Ghanapriya. And I think somewhere we need a mentor in our life which can motivate us, which help us to attain which we really want from our life. So kudos to you for explaining all the things in the details. Moving ahead with the confident speaker was confident throughout her speech. And how she portrayed the confidence, she was talking about her mentors. The first was her mother. Being backbone, she told her something which is still helping her in her personal life. Then she moved to the Toastmaster, and I really want to say you will always find amazing people in Toastmaster, which will always be there for you, standing next to you, help you. So kudos again to you. Moving ahead, speaker had the good voice command throughout her speech. She knew what she is saying and in what kind of audience she is speaking. Here are some points which I felt was slightly missing from the speech. First was your energy. Try to add more energy in your speech. It will add a value in your speech. And I have seen you with a very good energy in the previous speeches. Second thing, try to deliver your speech in the standing position. It will help you to divide your stage wisely and you will able to capture your audience properly. The last thing was your hand gestures. Try to reduce your hand gestures. and I think you can do while practicing in front of the mirror. Overall, it's a very good speech. I really liked about how you told about the mentors, how they have helped you throughout your life. And I wish you best of luck for your future speeches. I would love to listen your future speeches as well. Thanks. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sagar, for evaluating the speech. And now let's move on to our next evaluator, who will be Toastmaster Rohan. And he will be evaluating Toastmaster Umang's speech. Over to you, Rohan.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. From scratch to best. I really appreciate the speaker taking us through the journey of him taking up a leadership role and explaining the opportunities and challenges that came across the speaker's way. Firstly, I have to commend the speaker on how beautifully the speaker achieved the speech objectives throughout the duration of the speech. The speech objectives detailed the speaker to talk about his experience leading a team and taking a project to fruition, which the speaker did so wonderfully well. He talked about the challenges he faced. He talked about what he thought was the rationale behind the particular project being taken up. So he took us through the whole journey from start to end, and that was really commendable job. That that was so wonderfully articulated by the speaker. So great job done on that front. Secondly, I really appreciate that the speaker made perfect eye contact throughout the speech. The speaker was staring right into the webcam throughout the speech, and it made me as an evaluator feel that he had a connect with the audience throughout the speech. And that is a very important point to be noted in a virtual format. So great job done on that. Thirdly, I really appreciate the speaker for using hand gestures to his benefit. The speaker was complimenting his hand gestures along with the content of a speech, and both of them were going seamlessly. So that was a very well job. That was a job very well done. It introduced a flair for the dramatic and added more energy to the speech. So great job done on that front as well. I have two recommendations for the speaker. Firstly, is I noticed that the speaker used a consistent tone throughout the speech, and I recommend the speaker. And what this does is it doesn't really help the audience connect with the emotions that the speaker is feeling throughout the speech. So I would recommend the speaker that when the speaker is feeling frustrated about some challenges that he's facing, show it in your voice. Say that I was so frustrated with when this didn't go my way. Or, you can add certain flavor to your voice to make it more engaging for the audience. To me, it felt like a continuous tone of uh, voice when it should oscillate along with the ups and downs that you portrayed so wonderfully well in the content of your speech. Secondly, I I noticed that the speaker was rushing through the speech a bit. So I would recommend the speaker to take some pauses as to have some sort of impact on the audience. So when you pause for effect, the audience can really grasp what you're saying throughout the speech because the content was really strong. If the speaker could add a bit of pauses strategically in at certain points in speech, if he structured the speech that well, that would create more impact for the audience and for the speaker particularly. Overall, I really commend the speaker on achieving the speech objectives so beautifully using eye contact and hand gestures to his benefit and explaining the reasoning behind taking up the project, which made the speech all the more relatable. The speaker could work on his future speeches with his voice modulation and pauses. And if he bribes his team with samosas, I'm sure a lot of his team members would happily come along for the ride. So back to you, Madam General Value.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rohan, for that wonderful evaluation. And I don't know, I must not say in between, but then for that samosas, I know Rohan and I will be part of your team in case you want any time. For those samosas, we can do. Yes. All right. Moving on, let's call on our table topic speech evaluator. And she is somebody from Pune, Toastmaster Utkarsha, who will evaluate the table topic speakers. And let's hear from her. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmasters Amelia. Starting with the best speaker, it was Amelia yourself. You started with a great sentence that I have heard rules are to be broken, but I didn't do so, and I did is what I broke the norms. That was the amazing part, that you had added the cliffhanger into it. And apart from that, you seemed confident, and throughout your speech, you used voice modulation, so it was a great part. Next, moving onwards, it was another speech whose table topic speech was good is Simranjeet. She used a great analogy for potato, which is that it goes along with every vegetable, and so I would like to be like that. That I want to go with everything and get fit in that part. So that was good. She could have used a pauses in between in order to make that audience feel what she is saying. And then the Ghanopriya had a great thing. The topic was great. She delivered it in great way. But at the same time, this it was a monotonous voice. Instead, she could have used voice modulations to make it more engaging. Nupur had an amazing start and end with all like opening, closing, and body. So it was good. But at the same, she even used the hand functions. But at the same time, she used excessive hand functions, which should be only used for the functional purpose. When she said that it stays at constant, that was good. It was a functional gesture. But the excessive usage, when we use it as a non-functional part, it distracts the audience. Rest of the part, the fluency of every table topic speaker was amazing. The digital tip for Saga was he could place his camera at an eye level or hold his phone at an eye level so that eye contact is made with an audience. Although it's tough to have an eye contact in the digital space, but he can put the camera at the eye level. And he also can add the energy into it to make it more engaging with the audience. So yeah, that's all. For great communication, you need to have energy, empathy, and clarity. Thank you. Where all the speakers did had clarity of what they are going to speak. So over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Utkarsha, for that wonderful insight. And when Toastmaster Utkarsha attempted her table topic, I'm going to just give her the feedback as a general evaluator, because she took up the topic very honestly, sincerely, and her voice had that honesty. I love that spark, that shine in the voice, that smile in the voice. And yes, what I would want to say that maybe you try use some hand gestures, and then it would be great. So I hope it will help you for your future speeches. Now is the time to go ahead and vote for the evaluators. We had 3 evaluators today: Toastmaster Rohan, Sagar, and Utkarsha. Please vote. It is being highlighted on your Zoom. And as we do this, let's move on with our auxiliary team. So first of all, I'd like to call on our grammarian for the day to present the report.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. I'll just share my screen with all of you. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so the good usage of the English language that was done in today's meeting. Firstly is Toastmaster Nupur as Toastmaster of the Day used generosity, scorching heat, full-fledged, politicized, which were really good usages of the English language. She used the word of the day once. Distinguished Toastmaster Amelia used refrain, broke the norms, fluttering, and used the word of the day 5 times. Kudos on that. Toastmaster Umang used stroke of the midnight hour, cacophony, which was really good usage of the English language, and he used the word of the day once after the speech. Toastmaster Kanpriya used far-sighted, knack for, bog down. Toastmaster Simranjeet used a pinch of sweetness. Toastmaster Utkarsha used every coin has 2 sides and cliffhanger. Now, for the not so good usage of the word, their children to be either doctor or engineer could be their children to be either doctors or engineers, since children is plural. Toastmasters of the day is Toastmaster of the day. There's so much of growth prospects can be either two ways. There's a lot of growth prospect, or there are lots of growth prospects in the industry or whatever. Then the Facebook is actually then Facebook. There's no article in front of that. In the details can be in detail or in more detail. Portrait confident is actually portrait confidence. The word of the day, as you can see here, was used. Does anyone want to use the word of the day now in any sentence? You have the opportunity now to add your name to the list. So anyone would like to volunteer? All right. So with that, there was no use of regional languages as well during the meeting. That is all for my report, and back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much for your report, Toastmaster Rohan. Now let's move on to the our counter report. And our counter for today is Toastmaster Simranjeet.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amelia. Well, this was far more difficult than what I expected, but I've tried my best. So here's my report. So the first one is Kamal, Toastmaster Kamal. So he used 4 likes, 2 long pauses, and 5 in his table topic speech. Toastmaster Amelia, she used 1 in a table topic speech, and 1 so 6 and 1 I mean in the rest of the time. Nupur had 7 long pauses, 15  2 so in the time as her in the time, and there were 3 in her table topic speech. Ghanapriya's moving on to the Ghanapriya speech. So she had 2 long pauses, 12 and 1 in her speech. Moving to Toastmaster Sagar, he had 1 long pause and 1 during his time. Moving on to Bhavna, she had 1 1 so, and 12 in her time. Moving on to Umang, Toastmaster Umang, he had 2 so and 6 in his speech, and 1 in his table topic speech. Moving on to Soumya, she had 2 so and 2 during her time while she was talking in the meeting, and one like and 1 so in her table topic speech. Rohan had 12 in his time of the evaluation, and 3 and 2 so in his table topic speech. And Utkarsha had 1 in his time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your report, Toastmaster Simran. And now it's time for our timer for the day, Toastmaster Soumya, to present her report.
Yes, so I'll just share my screen. Let me know if it's visible. Okay. So the first one is Nupur. So the Toastmasters of the day. So she took approximately 5 minutes covering the whole topic. The next are the speeches given by Ghanapriya and Umang. So Ghanapriya took 6 minutes and 23 seconds and Umang took 6 minutes and 44 seconds. Coming to the table topics. So Toastmaster Amelia took 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Pratham took 18 seconds. Utkarsha took 1 minute and 11 seconds. Sagar took 1 minute. Simranjeet took 1 minute and 21 seconds. Rohan took 1 minute and 20 seconds. Nupur took 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Umang took 1 minute and 58 seconds. Ghanapriya took 1 minute and 42 seconds. Kamal took 1 minute and 10 seconds. I took 1 minute and 57 seconds. The evaluators were Sagar, Rohan and Utkarsha. So Sagar took 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Rohan took 3 minutes and 35 seconds. And Utkarsha took 2 minutes and 31 seconds. So overall, all the members were within the limits of the given time. None of them were Yeah, so just for one, like for Pratham, he took it 18 seconds. So the minimum time for table topic was 1 minute. So I think Pratham, from next time you can speak a little more. Yeah, so that was all.
Thank you so much for that wonderful report, Soumya. And yes, we can definitely notice the time that you noticed was very, very meticulously done. So great job done on that. Now it's time to open up your ears and listen to her. And oh, it's him. Toastmaster Kamal is our active listener who will take on the stage now. Please switch on your videos and he will be asking you questions. Over to you,
Thank you.
Kamal.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amelia. So I have prepared some question for you guys. So my first question is, what was the name of Toastmaster Nupur's uncle and where does he stay? What was the name of Toastmaster Nupur's uncle and where does he stay? Yes,
I
Amelia.
only know half of it, Mr. Parvez.
Yes, correct.
And
Anybody who know where does he stay?
uh, I'm missing out. He was in
UK.
US.
Who is he?
Pratham.
Pratham. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
right, correct. UK. My next question is, who is the first mentor in Toastmaster Ghanapriya's life? Simranjeet?
Her mom.
Yeah, correct, right. My next question is, how many pillars are there in Islam religion?
5.
Yes, Rohan.
Five.
Okay, right, correct. Utkarsha, you are also correct. Now, from Toastmaster, what was it? Umang's speech. So, what kind of drink Toastmaster Umang's friend used to serve him during iftar? Uh, Somya, yes.
Rosa.
Yeah, correct. Now, which one animal guest Pratham want to be if he get chance? Nupur, Toastmaster Nupur.
Was a lion, and that I don't know. That's not visible.
Yeah, it's visible,
That was a
visible.
lie.
Yeah, yeah, correct, correct. Now, my second question is, when Toastmaster Rohan had went on his first solo trip, when Toastmaster Rohan had went on his first solo trip, uh, yes,
Simran.
Simranjeet,
A year back.
no, no, no. Yes, Bhavna,
2 years back.
no, 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 no.
No, 4 years.
Anybody else? Yes, Nupur.
2014.
Yes, yes, correct. He went on his first solo trip in 2014. Now, my next question is, in how many kilometer race had Toastmaster Umang participated? In how many kilometer race had Toastmaster Umang participated?
Initially, or when he won?
When he won? Yes, Amelia, Toastmaster Amelia.
45.
N-
42.
no, no. Yes, correct. 42. Let me check if I have a question. Okay. So I have done with all the questions.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is from my end, Toastmaster Amelia Saeed. Back to
Thank
you.
you so much, Toastmaster Kamal. And as in a virtual environment, we'll not be giving any goodies. Ideally, we give chocolates or toffees. But then now it's a time to present my report. And I just want to applaud everyone who is here because you have maintained the decorum as a parliamentarian. I saw that it was absolute perfect meeting that was being conducted. It started on time, it's going to end on time. And I see the Toastmaster of the day did take a lot of effort to put in the pin, the background and everything as per the theme. Took us on a journey of iftar and made us happy and relive some childhood memories. So thank you for doing that. Kudos for that wonderful theme that you picked up and the hard work that you put in. And this is the first time your debutant role, and I must say that you did great. Thank you for doing that. Amazing. Our table topic master was witty, so witty, and brought the topics as if like you have to really flutter your eyes and think, oh my god, what a topic. And it, the topic I got made me think like that. Okay. And I really got connected. So the table topics that table topic master brought was really nice, witty, amazing, sharp, and made us go through our stories easily and share our thoughts easily. Wonderful job done, Toastmaster Bhavna. Great job done. And now let's come on to our evaluators. Both the evaluators were very, very particular about how and what they are commending and recommending on. So great job done here. The points of recommendation were also given with thoughts as to how you can improve. That makes the speaker help improve of in future. The point that I want to share here is Utkarsha, Toastmaster Utkarsha, also being a table topic evaluator for the first time. She did a great job as well, and I want to applaud her as an evaluator too. So all the evaluators did great job, and I would want to just say one thing: when you're evaluating the speech, do not use the word you or your. You can say speaker. The speaker used this, the speaker did that. So always speak in that form, not the direct. Correct. Uh, Now it's time for the auxiliary role players. Debutant role play. Okay, Toastmaster Rohan has something to say. Okay, best auxiliary role player voting first, and then I will present my report. Good point. Shall we go ahead? Okay, so as a debutant role player, Toastmaster Soumya, you did great. I must applaud you for the kind of hard work and effort that you put in. We connected 5, 6 times today to understand and maybe take off challenges that we were facing. And then, yes, you did it very well. Next comes our counter for the day, and Toastmaster Simranjeet. Yesterday night just agreed, okay, I'll do it. And with a smile, she did her report. She did take up and she did take effort to note down the R's and Ums, even from my side. And I'm saying, no, I'm not perfect, but then, yes, to be able to pick out all those R's and Ums is really a task. Great job done, Toastmaster Simran. I'm really happy. Our grammarian for the day is a shenanigan, and he got that word like for us to for us to experiment and be more shenanigan today. And that is the beauty of the word that was presented by grammarian. Great job done, and we could use it. I could use it 7, 8 times, so I'm happy. I will probably remember it now. Great job done, auxiliary role players, including our active listener now. Active listener was like sitting like this and thinking and listening to us. But then he took us on a ride with few questions. Great job done. Kudos to every role player, every speaker, and every evaluator who was here. And I would want to just thank you and say that go ahead and participate in your club meetings as much as possible. Be with each other. This is a tough time. So giving those smiles to people is really a task, and you can be one. So go ahead and do that. With that thought, I hand over the stage back to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, for the evaluation and for the auxiliary role players for their. I guess now this is the last segment where I can actually speak. So with all the hustle bustle, all the shenanigans that have happened in the entire session, I would like to close from my end with some points here. We all are coming to this meeting with a big smile, and I am so, so happy and thankful to everyone that we are able to make to this meeting. However, the world around us, as we all know, is not that great. There are a lot of things that are happening. Our country, as someone said yesterday, so what's happening in India? It's in the news for not very good reasons. And when we look at WhatsApp and we look at the discussions that are happening, we realize that even in this crisis situation where people are really fighting for their life, there are people who are who are trying to gain benefit from this situation, benefit from someone's ill health, benefit from someone's death, which is not at all something as humans that we would even like to mention about, let alone face. Why am I saying this in the topic that we have for the table topics today? This is the month of Ramadan, the month of giving, the month of self-realization. Iftar itself is something that tells us how to take the community as a whole and then move ahead. How do you contribute to the community with whatever little you have? With whatever you have, share it and then move ahead, so that as they say, a saying in Hindi, "Main bhi bhooka na rahu, sadhu na bhook ho jaye." Let even I should not suffer, but the person who is there in front of me should also not suffer. That is a big learning, that today we do not only need to understand by ourselves, but also make the community understand that today it's not just about our survival, it's not about our health, it's not about what we can do, it's about the society, the community, the mankind as a whole. And that is what we need to think about and move ahead with. With that thought, I would hand over back to the presiding officer. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nupur, for that warm and positive closing remarks on the meeting today. Before we proceed, I'd like all of you to vote for the best role player. The nominations are Toastmaster Nupur as Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Bhavna as Table Topic Master, and distinguished Toastmaster Amelia as the General Evaluator. Okay, while you are voting, I'd like to get feedback of the guests who are in the meeting today. Utkarsha, can we have a feedback? Any feedback for us as a meeting coming from another Toastmaster club? Utkarsha, you're on mute, I think.
Yeah, sorry for the issue.
No way.
The meeting was actually very great. It's my pleasure to be part of this, and I can say that I'm privileged to be part of this meeting, and all thanks to Amelia for giving me an opportunity to be here with all other Toastmasters. I look forward for the future meetings and collaborate with all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Utkarsha, for coming in and participating. Do join us again. Happy to have you again.
It was a seamless and
in the
flawless
next meeting as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Pratham, can we have a feedback, please? How did you think? What do you think
Yes,
of the
of course.
meeting?
It was a wonderful meeting. I was feeling a bit nervous at the starting, but at the end, I was feeling like normal, like it's okay. So it was a great meeting, wonderful meeting, and of course, I'm also looking forward for the future meetings.
Great. Thanks, Pratham. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, that ends the voting as well. I'll just share the results. Okay, any guesses? Best auxiliary role player?
Soumya.
Who said Soumya? Simranjeet, you are absolutely right. The award goes to Toastmaster Soumya. as the best auxiliary role player. Congratulations. What a fantastic start to your Toastmasters journey. Uh, best table topic speaker. There were 11 today, so many of them. Guesses, please.
Toastmasters Amelia.
Okay, Simranjeet, you get an award for best guesses today because you are so distinguished Toastmaster Amelia. Congratulations. Best evaluator. I would make you guess. It's me. Next is best role player.
Nupur.
Amelia ma'am, you're talking on mute.
I can't say Nupur did a great job, and I loved topics, and I can't say I'm bad. Don't know.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Nupur. Beautifully laid out the journey of iftar and job very well done. Congratulations.
Wonderful.
Secondly, we have the best speakers.
No.
Two fabulous speakers. Any guesses?
Umang.
I think Umang.
Yes, you're right. It's Toastmaster Umang. He's not here, but we'll send the certificate over to him.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Just to let you know, tomorrow morning, 11 a.m., we have a table topic session for 1 hour. If you'd like to join us either as an observer or as a speaker, do let us know in the comments. On WhatsApp later on, and we'll see if there's any slot available. Secondly, we are coming up with our 250th meeting is just a few weeks away. So if you want to take part in the planning and organizing committee
let's all join hands and meet tomorrow.
What happened? Why
Okay, that is not for us.
It's a future Toastmaster.
Awesome. So yeah, so I was saying for the 250th meeting, if anyone, if any of you have any ideas on how to conduct the meeting, what section should we have in the meeting, or any ideas for the games of what we should do digitally, do let us know. If you want to participate, we'll just create a group and just share ideas and talk with each other and just plan the meeting together. So